40s, but I knew I was going to be a few years younger on this episode.
Well, I'm glad we could contribute. I forgot to press this button in the beginning, so we're going to make this real quick. So that's going to go there, and this is, we're going to go button. Who's got the button? TLP number.
It's relaxing in here.
37. It smells good.
I've watched the episodes, and everybody, y'all look relaxed. And now I feel relaxed.
Is it everything you imagined?
Yeah, it was, and more.
Yeah. So, while we adjust all this and get us centered properly, it's on Facebook. You can share it now. I'm sorry. It's on Facebook.
I shared it.
You can share it.
Share this?
The actual live thing, so all your peeps can hear us telling stories. This is my version of the commercials at the beginning of podcasts, because I don't go back and edit it. And so every time I get into this forgetting to press something, I get worried about whose sponsorship I'm not reading correctly. And then I remember I don't have any sponsors. So...
You don't need sponsors.
Yeah, we don't need sponsors. It's more fun. Sponsors expect you to do stuff. Yeah, it's totally irrelevant.
Maybe down the road you can get some sponsors. If you want to take it on the road, you might
one day
need a sponsor. But you have enough folks to choose from around here that keep everything going. And we only charge $100 a piece.
Only $100. Only $100. I'm going to share this to my professional page.
Did I share?
While we're at it. I think you did.
Share and share alike.
Truth, love, peace.
Are we on there right now?
There it is. Yeah, we're on there. Say hey to everybody.
I can't see. This is weird.
There you go. It's everywhere now.
Mike Laughlin's watching.
What up, Mike Henry?
Mic check.
This
is much nicer than Mike's trailer. Hey, Mike. I spent the night at Mike's trailer the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sleep well?
Great. I slept very well.
Good.
The cat was on my stomach the whole time. And, and I only kicked the cat off like 2 or 3 times throughout the night. But, yeah, it's a very sweet cat Mike has over there.
I don't think I've met the cat. Or, I don't remember.
Very cool cat. Very, very, yeah.
I'm sure Cook's feeding it fish all the time.
Oh, yeah, probably eats real well. I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, he said John comes through the window there.
Through the window?
Yeah.
Why does the door not work?
It's open.
Oh, and so there he is.
Sometimes the door's locked, but the window... Anyway, I shouldn't have said that to the public.
Telling secrets.
What are you going to do?
Okay, so too bad we don't edit this.
Mike's trailer.
Well, good to see you, Mike. Glad you're here. Yeah, Mike's trailer. Woo, the stories. Thank God that thing can't talk.
Woohoo! Have some accent.
It could have its own podcast for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Not this one. This is a nice new. You have to run this podcast. This is very nice, cozy trailer. I like it.
I got this the first after I was down here for a year. I was like, okay, looks like I'll be here for a minute. So I upgraded and got this. But I'm interested in getting something smaller than this. I was talking about going on the road and traveling. I want to see how small I can get. It seems the smallest I can get is something with a small shower to fit in.
Yeah, Mike's is the perfect size. I mean, it really is.
You don't act like you fit in any shower in any camper anywhere.
Not the shower. I didn't take the shower. No, just the cot.
Cot fit.
The bed. It was. Yeah.
I was gonna say we should get a picture of you crammed into my shower for the picture for this podcast. I think you're the first person that's been over here that's taller than me. Yeah, take that back, River Dan.
Oh yeah,
so you're the second.
He's like 7'2".
Yeah. He should have played basketball.
I thought he did.
Did he? I heard he was a model at one point in time.
I'm sure
River Dan's done everything.
I'm sure he's probably played basketball.
Yeah, he's tall.
Not professionally, but he probably played.
Yeah. I hadn't seen him in a minute. Anyway, scatterbrained. I'm all over the place. Hey, everybody. Welcome to it. So, you just got done doing a little wedding thing, and then...
Did a wedding for a friend of ours, yeah.
And then the bowling buddies. This is what I wanted to hear more about. The new group, the bowling buddies.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the Davises. They're coming to the night. I think a lot of them are coming tonight.
Oh, good. Well, congratulations.
Hopefully the Davises are coming.
And there you go.
And then they'll come.
We'll tell them they're immortalized in a podcast forever now. They can catch it on iTunes.
Yeah, it'll be on iTunes. The Bowling Buddies, man, we're playing 10 o'clock at the Bama Dome tonight, and it's going to be fun. We have Seth Manis, who manages Soul Kitchen. Mm-hmm. He put us together. This is only our second show. We played a 90-minute set for his Mardi Gras party, the Mystic Order of Revolutionary Enlightenment, which is Seth's his Mardi Gras big ball that he does. He did Merry Widow this year. But that was our first set, and tonight's our second one. We've been rehearsing every Thursday.
Nice. Who else in the group?
Got Christian Hayden on bass, Paul McDonald on guitar, and Daniel Clements on drums, and they're all from Infant Richard and the Delta Stone, which is up-and-coming band from Mobile.
Oh, yeah, check them out.
And then got Andrew Ayers on keyboard from Stereo Dogs.
Gonna be a good time.
Young Buck. He's a senior in high school. So
I haven't been this tempted to go listen to live music in a hot minute.
Well, it's gonna be fun. That
sounds good.
Yacht funk. We're trying the stuff we're doing.
You said yacht funk?
We're doing some. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Wait. Yacht funk.
We're a yacht funk band.
Who said that first?
We did. We said it first.
Tell me the story around how you came up with yacht funk, please.
Just because we're doing some old school funk stuff like Commodores, Isley Brothers, Sly and the Family Stone, and then we're doing some yacht rock stuff like Seals and Croft doing some cool stuff.
And it's anticlimactic to what I thought
was
it would be. I was thinking like Boats and Hoes scene out of Brothers, and somebody said yacht funk.
You pulled that right out of my head. I was about to say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, great minds think.
It was from a scene in Step Brothers, and where they wrecked the boat.
Yeah.
And that's where we were all. No.
We were reenacting that scene.
But yacht
funk.
We came up with it. It's just a classification. Everything has to have some kind of classification. That's what people need nowadays to know if they're going to like it or not. Well, am I going to like it or not? What kind of music? You know what I mean? And you have to give them a specific genre of music to let them know if they're going to like it or not, because they can't choose for themselves by their own ears. A lot of times. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about everybody else. Who's not watching.
All those other people.
Yeah, that just don't. It's still like self-serve everything. Nowadays that spoon-fed really. It went from self-serve to spoon-fed, where you spoon-fed the music, and it's on the radio. And I think if we're getting deep here, we're going to go ahead and go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There is the agenda of the mediocrity. Trying to break down society, us be dumber and just less feeling, less emotion, less appreciation for the arts, less appreciation for music, and what it takes to play music, and there's a lot of, I love how music has evolved with EDM and all that stuff. I enjoy that, I enjoy hip hop, I enjoy pop, a lot of other pop stuff, but, as far as the real, music like you hear at Floribama, a lot of times, it's going to the wayside a lot, on the radio. That is just on the the top 40 radio.
Yeah.
So I think give them a chance to hear something old but in a new way. With a bunch of guys. That's what the Bowling Buddies are doing tonight at Floribama in the Dome, 10 p.m. Be there. It's on. Rock and roll. Oh, sorry.
I think that was supposed to be a wrestling reference.
Yeah. Well, we do wrestle. We actually wrestle every third song. So
the visual in my head, I can't say it out loud because it's too revealing. But I can't imagine what that would look like.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw Ric Flair when you yelling "woo" in my head when you said that.
Well, he's supposed to be here tonight. He's in town. So,
WrestleMania was somewhere recently.
Yeah, they're in Pensacola, I think, or Atlanta, somewhere nearby.
Somewhere.
But so he was here. So apparently they said he's stopping by the Floribama tonight.
Well,
Ric Flair.
Good. I hope he doesn't fall. break a hip or anything. He's not a young man anymore.
I think
the last picture I saw of him, my first thought was, "Oh, please don't fall."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not as
I remember,
as he used to be.
well, that's what he did when he fell. He
wooed right into a bike
and no one
path.
came because they thought he was just being him, you know.
Just being Ric
They just
Flair.
he fell down and woo, and he kept going woo, and nobody even paid any attention.
It took a while. Damn.
But he did get he started his own thing. The
What's he up to?
it's like the alarm system. The
Really?
not the clap on the what is it called? The Little Rascal. No.
Life Alert.
Life Alert. He's doing it's called the Woo Alert, and you woo, you just hit it and it goes Ric Flair woo woo.
I think that should just be the automation for when your pacemaker goes off. Every time. Boom! Woo!
That would be good. I mean, that would kickstart it.
That way everybody knows why you're convulsing on the floor, It's
Right.
being electrocuted from the inside out.
And then they won't. They'll pay attention. Yeah.
Maybe. Or they'll just think you're Ric Flair and think it's a
Just
bit.
rock.
So you talk about the mediocrity of music. You want to get deep.
Well, no, there's so much music that is so good that
Yeah.
no one hears. That's I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how they, not mediocrity, but they pigeonhole it. They've learned the formula that the masses of people like.
Right.
And so they're just doing that. They're just it's like cattle going through a little little bitty opening, and there's all this other stuff out there that a lot of people don't even hear. I won't hear. There's so much music that I won't hear ever. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I like to look on YouTube and or look on any other kind of streaming whatever.
Who is knocking on the door?
There's no way you can get to it.
Oh my goodness.
No way you can hear all the music that you would like to hear. So keep listening. Please.
Are you done with your satanic rant at my thing? So that's what happens when you do a live podcast and a show. You don't hang a sign. People stop by and deliver your mail. So,
Hey man, at least
mail.
U.S. Postal Service work live in action.
Yay, that's awesome. So we were saying, it's not that all music is mediocre. It's that you'll never get to hear all the music. And I was thinking, is that any different? Except that we have access to hear all the music that's out there nowadays. Because there's always been lots of creative people doing lots of creative stuff. But now, are we just supposed to feel more slighted because we don't have the time to listen to all of it? Because I empathize, and I understand not getting to hear all the good music and how shitty it is that mainstream media shovels this one thing. But going really deep, should we feel bad that we don't get to watch everything on YouTube?
No, man, you can't feel bad. You just got to see as much as you can, and sometimes I don't like to hear any outside influence when I'm writing this stuff. You don't hear a lot of outside influence, but as far as just learning new music and learning what's out there, it's never been more available. And unfortunately for free. Which is the bigger problem. But like Spotify, what it does is it. Your channel goes on someone else's channel, and then they might be listening to some indie artist in wherever, Minnesota or something, and then your stuff comes on their channel. Mm-hmm. That's what's good about it, is it does open people up that want to hear new music channels. It gives that platform,
Yeah. And we're learning so much about how to take advantage of this new network, of all this new stuff. Mm-hmm. And
it's hard.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't thought about it as much since I'm not working in music anymore. But it's fascinating to watch it come about, and it's interesting to hear you talk about it. I want to double back to something real quick though, because we're talking about songwriting and what it is to write original stuff. And you mentioned one time you wrote an entire album, and each song was a different note in a scale or something like this.
Oh, yeah. I try to do it sonically, each song, as they, like for instance, one song will be an E, and the next song will be an A. Kind of goes to the 4 of it, like the blues progression, 1, 4, 5, But then you do that, and then you can do, just a third up, and just stuff that sounds sonically pleasing, as far associating, somewhat like major and minor relative, all that. Where you can take a song that's in C major, and then the next song can be in A minor, and it sounds, it flows,
See, I'm not the only person to overthink shit.
I'm not overthinking. I learned all this at Faulkner State University. I'd like to thank Justin Phobes. Got me in the program with Rebecca Berry when did an audition, and in there. And
Bang.
Did jazz band, did Sun Chief Sound.
I just love that it's considered to that extent, because that's the way that I would approach something. Is you think through every aspect of it, and you plan it out and make those kinds of decisions. So that's the way that I would approach it. So ever since I heard that story, I wanted to ask you about how that came to be. Because that's how my brain works too.
Well, I always worked by ear. I would just write and I learned the chords, but I didn't know how they interacted as far as certain intervals and within the scale and within the key signatures and stuff like that. Flats and all that stuff. There's just a lot to learn. But before, when I would just write, I would just do what sounded pleasing. It would sound weird, but I knew what was going on. So it kind of made it cool because it was, not sticking to theory of structure. The chord structure. Yeah. And now that I've learned the kind of chord structure, I can, I try to stick a little more to it and make it, just more structurally sound and not crazy stuff. A lot of times, you get in a situation where you're playing with somebody else and they've never heard the song, so you don't want to throw some stupid changes in there that don't make sense within the chord structure, within the key signature you're in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And,
but then, like you said, knowing the formulas that work well and that are pleasing to the ear, and being able to put all those correct pieces in there, like you were saying earlier. Yeah,
it's a combination of doing as far as I try to do with my 3 records I've done in the last few years, is try to make a theme, as far as how each song kind of plays into the next one a little bit, and just kind of tells a story. Like the last one I did, Fall Together, was about how, the beautiful and crazy the world is, and messed up the world is through a new father's eyes, and seeing, now that you got someone else to look after, seeing really how serious it is, and it kind of starts like that, all happy, family, lovey, and then it gets a little deeper and darker, and the keys kind of worked together, I think, for the most part, as far as just how we laid the songs out, and then it ends with political and strife and war and a song about a veteran coming home, and then about crime and about crooked law enforcement and all that home invasions, and then it ends with come together with everybody in the world coming together.
That is the hero's journey. It's beautiful.
That's what we're all trying to do.
Full circle.
Full circle.
It's good to know. It's just nice for me to hear somebody talk about art that in depth, and that is that considered, because I think it's too often that it's taken for granted. And I think part of what's wrong with the music industry and radio cramming this really narrow idea of what music is out on the airwaves, because it doesn't give credence to, and it doesn't pay respect to how much thought goes into telling the story of an album, and doing that. So thank you for being able to alliterate it like that. That's awesome.
And it's always everything's up to interpretation, and I've learned that you don't want to force feed people what you're thinking all the time. You want to leave something for them to come up with their own conclusion and how they relate to it, because sometimes if you keep it vague enough, people can relate to a lot more people, which sells a lot more records. What I've been doing lately see, what I do is you got to write to a demographic. See, I used to write from here, from my heart, but what I realized in the business and the industry, you got to find your demographic, and you've got to say, I want to write a song for the demographic, and so see, we used to I was reading.
I feel like I should get you a book.
I was reading Eric Church, and a lot of people love and respect Eric Church. I've listened to some of his stuff. He's a good songwriter. But I read this article about, and I appreciate and respect the fact he writes a lot, most of his stuff, and he does write some deep stuff. And I just saw this article where he's saying, and we were gearing our songs towards young girls. I was writing, towards, being a guy, writing towards girls, and then we changed it and we started gearing our songs towards, the young guys, and then the young guys started loving it, and then all the girls came along with them, and that's how he blew up, which pissed me off when I read it, and I was like, just write from your heart, but there's a give and take on everything. You gotta, he's, more power to him, but I do believe you need to do it from here first. I don't know. You do it how you want to. I mean, that's the thing about it. That's the beauty of it, is that you can do it any way you like, no matter what anyone else says. And I'm learning that too, and that help. You can't judge people for how they do stuff.
Don't take that away from me. I love judging people, right?
Right. Well, we all have our own little our fun, But
don't judge a book by its cover unless you're a really good judge of books' covers.
Right there. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can do it. And that's the other thing as far as chord structure, how, Sam Smith got sued by Tom Petty's manager. And I guarantee you it was his manager. I bet you Tom Petty had nothing to do with it.
Just didn't care.
He was like, hey, Tom, listen, I think they got this guy. It sounds like something, okay, go ahead, man, whatever you do. He said he got $12,000. Tom Petty doesn't need $12,000. I think that manager, wanted to that trip to Greece, and, what I'm saying?
It's not. That's not for the love of the art.
Right? It's not.
That's shady business stuff.
Right? It's shady business.
Because, like you said, Tom Petty would.
I doubt he would be that petty.
Probably not.
But that's the other thing of the chord structures. Was my point, was that once you realize there's only so many freaking chords and so many notes, there's so many ways you can put them together, that you can do anything you want. You can write anything you want. You can write the same chords as any song that's out there, and just put your own attitude, and your combination of lyrics and how you phrase things, and make it your own, And once you do that, it's very freeing to realize. If you look at things the other way, like, oh, that sounds like him, or oh, that sounds like that, then you can't write anything, because you will constantly be going, no. and I've been there. It's not fun, and so you just got a combination of both, writing from yourself and writing from what you've learned from other people and your influences. Tom Petty, he's probably one of my all-time favorites. I mean,
for a lot of people, yeah.
He's perfect example of leaving it out there for people, just simple words, and but people can draw their own,
He's so popular. Tom Petty's so popular, and that I've heard jokes that are centered around everybody loves Tom Petty. Like, what are the things everybody loves? Like, that's how iconic and lovable Tom Petty is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the soundtrack to the party, man.
For a lot of people,
man.
Sure.
They're all going, man.
Yeah, we lost to Mitzi Shore. Today we lost, obviously not musicians, but what was his name? From Art Bell, from Coast to Coast. I don't know if you listen to Art Bell or not.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. If you really want to go off the deep end, we can just go. So, yeah.
Wow, so he went on?
Yes, or the 13th on Friday.
So do you believe he actually died, or do you think he actually went on into a spaceship and went to where we all go? If we're allowed.
I'm pretty sure that Art had some inside deets and got to make his own choices in the matter. That's like, what was the guitar player's name? Colonel? Something or other that just...
Colonel Bruce Hampton?
Passed away on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, John Cook told me that story, and that was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's 70 years old, yeah.
Hands the guitar to his protege and just lays down, and the band keeps playing. Oh! And
Yeah.
I imagine that's kind of how Art Bell went.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be he was well informed. That guy talked to a lot of people. I hope I get to interview that many people once upon a time. But
Colonel Bruce was definitely,
yeah,
he was in touch with whatever's out there.
I've heard a few stories.
I only got to meet him a few times, but he's.
What was that like?
That was great. I was just sitting around with people talking. Just very cool. I mean, he's just laid back, but he's just very insightful.
In touch with the universe.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I didn't really get to know him as well as some other people did, but he had a lot of influence. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But then we lost. What was it? A year ago or 2 years ago? Prince, Tom Petty. So many good ones.
Leonard
in 1
Cohen,
year.
David Bowie.
That was a rough year. So yeah, there's the report from 2017. I guess it was
2007.
Oh man, that's not good entertainment. Hang on a second.
Yeah, but they live on in the music.
Yeah, they do, which absolutely amazing. Do you think we'll get back to that though, where that kind of music will be as popular as it was? I guess that's a weird, loaded question in a lot of ways.
Oh, no, I
because
think
you can't ever go back.
Well, I mean, look at Greta Van Fleet, the Led Zeppelin cover band. They're not cover band, but they're doing their own thing. But they sound a lot like them, which, but it's fine. But
Well, that goes back to how do you?
It's rehashing. Yeah, Jumanji. They just remade Jumanji. They're remaking every Star Wars. I mean, everything's just being remade.
Can we get an original?
And yeah, it's hard to. That's the thing. It's how does it keep going? Hundreds of years from now, and we're long gone, and they're are there.
Yeah. Have there not been any stories before this? Are these 6 the best we can come up with, or however many movies they're remaking these days? Maybe less than that.
I know. How are we gonna?
It's really sad.
My favorite. I love telling my son, he's about to be 4. I love telling him jokes like, that I've, he hasn't heard them. So I got every joke I've ever heard. I can tell him, but not the
ones that are 4-year-old appropriate.
Like this, yeah.
Like,
why did the Scarecrow get an award? He was outstanding in his field. But of course, that's above his head a little bit. Chicken across the road.
That's great. Appropriate for a 4-year-old. I had a lady ask me today, in front of her granddaughter. She asked me if I was a true Scotsman, and I said, well, that depends on what you mean by true Scotsman. And she said, well, for my granddaughter's sake, I'm not asking you what's under the kilt. And I was like, holy shit, like, why do you have to bring that up? Who said anything about that? Yeah, it's amazing where people go with things. Tangents.
Well,
Blow my mind. But I enjoy the comedy.
you've been doing
I've gotten
comedy?
into.
So you come to Mobile and do it?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna ask what your son's favorite joke is as a 4-year-old, if he has one.
What's his favorite joke? Poo poo. The word poo poo. I mean, that's pretty much it.
At 4, that's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
He'll just put the word poo poo in any sentence,
That's
and
great.
And tracks up.
I wish my sense of humor were that simple.
Yeah,
now it's to
you
the
can get
point
there.
where I'm too wordy. I gotta cut shit out. Just constantly cutting shit out.
Yeah, I'm trying. My language is definitely, I got to work on it. Like GD, God bless it instead of God.
Really?
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, I guess it does help. We've been talking about clean comedy. I can relate to that. You need to know that skill. You need to be able to do it.
Well, just around the kids, So.
Yeah, that's true. But then
With
you
comedy,
gotta,
I mean,
be able to pull it out.
Shoot, dirtier the better.
Well, in some cases, there's some places that like clean comedy. Like there's some places that a clean music show would be better in the afternoon. versus the midnight show.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, when you got a band playing and then the person on the mic says, "Hey, get some drink," and it's like there's no point, in cussing over the mic and whatever. I'm learning all these lessons. We still continue the struggle, but yeah,
still.
It's just language, what's language? It's what's words? We everybody's so offended by words, What about guns? I'm just joking. Come on. I'm sorry.
For a little guy, you've got a huge voice, Ryan.
It's really not funny. But...
No, it's terrifying that guns are problematic. But you are one of the few people that I know that can take a very serious subject and link it to a couple of different things and make it funny way faster than I can. And it's something that I always kind of wait for you to do in our conversations. And you never let me down. Because sooner or later, you will end up referencing a couple of things and linking them together that will inevitably make me laugh. And I don't know exactly where that comes from, but you're good at connecting those dots.
Well, I've shot guns before. I enjoyed it very much. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything wrong with guns. I see something wrong with high-powered, rifles that don't have the place in society. That's my problem. I see, and I've had many friends that are responsible gun owners that I love them to death. I love them to death. No, I love them, but they're gun enthusiasts. There's one thing you can say about them: they're enthusiastic.
Very.
And and that's the thing, So you're talking about the freedom of speech. That's a slippery slope when you start messing with the Second Amendment, and taking away, it's just unrealistic to take all the guns. You can't, 300 million something gun.
Right.
But and I don't want to see that, honestly, but I just think that there's regulations, there's, and the conversation of the way we talk about guns, like a teenager, to me, shouldn't have that easy access to, semi-automatic, high-powered rifle. I just, there's another, go with that. Let's see how many people we lost.
There's nobody watches me anyway.
No one's even watching?
No.
Sons of bitches.
I'm not popular. Don't worry about it.
No, it's not about being popular.
No, it'll get replayed. We've been talking for 30 minutes now, and so the Facebook Live audience does not have a 30-minute attention span. So
no, right, yeah. I'm the same way. I get on, I watch it, but and you can't. You can watch it in a little bit and check it out.
But you can go to truthloveandpeace.com and you can download the MP3 audio, like the podcast, and you can get it through iTunes or anywhere else. So if you don't want to listen to the whole thing all at one time, there are a multitude of ways you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
While we're plugging stuff, you were mentioning your album earlier. What's the best place to get your music?
Nice diversion from the political talk we were having.
We're coming back. We're coming back to guns. But while I'm plugging stuff, I wanted to ask you that earlier.
Where am I?
The name of that album that you mentioned earlier.
Fall Together.
And where can I find it?
It's on iTunes, and I'll have it tonight with me. I have it all my shows, or you can get it off of RyanBalthrop.com.
Yeah.
It's produced by Rick Hirsch of Wet Willie and Greg Allman Band, and Joan Armitage, a bunch of people he's worked with. Huge. He produced it on Dog River in Mobile at Studio H2O.
Didn't even know that was there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, Point Legier. His house right there on the point, and it's real nice, beautiful. We've got a studio downstairs, and
back to guns.
No.
But seriously,
like I said, man, it's a tightrope of things being just slightly regulated, but I'm one of the people. I try to stay in between on everything, and I look at every issue, the way it is. That's the problem with the whole left and right thing, and that's exactly what they want us to do.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, I'm sure you talked about this before. How could they get? I don't know. I just think it's all scripted. It's all been scripted, since, like George H.W. Bush is the only president that have ever been the head of the CIA before he was president.
Yeah.
And that's always been something to me, and, he's tight with Bill Clinton, they all, I don't know, it's all together. I mean, they want us to think it's not, but it's totally, they're all together on it. I mean,
it's easier to see it
it's
now.
so easy to see. I mean, and they just swing us back and forth, Oh, 8 years old, I'm happy, I'm happy now. And then, God dang it, and then, people, they fill up their little bag, they got 4 stomachs, and they eat the food, eat the brush, and they eat dead leaves, like, they'll come clean up the porch, and, like, I'll put them on the porch, they'll eat the dead leaves like Pringles, I mean, and they got, like, a little extra set of jaws in the back of their throat. It's weird, like, because they'll sit there and kind of, because they'll put anything in their mouth to check it out what it is. That's how they kind of see what stuff is by putting it in their mouth. And I know this sounds weird, doesn't it? But and then sit there, and then all of a sudden you'll feel a little on the end of another little jaw, like an alien, like inside. It's weird, but that's how it's a little. I don't know. It's weird. It's like pulls the stuff back down into it, and then it goes into the first stomach, and then it, has the little microorganisms that break it down, and then they spit the cud back up, and they chew the cud. And so you'll see them just, and they're not eating anything, but they just spit it back up, and they chew the cud, and they swallow it, and then it comes out in processed little pellets.
Perfect.
It's great.
You can dry it out and burn it, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I've been using it just compost.
Fertilizer.
Yeah. And making a garden. We're doing a little nursery, planting a couple of fruit trees. And we just started, actually, the Eslava Creek Yak Club, kayaking. We're kayaking. We every Thursday, this band, we're bowling buddies, we practice. We have yak and prac every Thursday.
Yak and prac.
Yak and prac. They came up with it. But
way
to
distance yourself from that.
They came up with that. They came up with that. But we got this lady Diane from Keep Mobile Beautiful gave us some grabbers and mesh bags and garbage bags and all that stuff. And we had a couple of kayaks donated. We got 6 kayaks now. So we're starting this whole Eslava Creek Eco Tours, which is Slava Creek goes into Dog River. And feeds right into it, and when it floods, when it rains, all the the streets, that's where they come. They come right in through our backyard. So all the stuff that's litter is thrown on the ground or falls out of people's trucks or boats as they're going by.
Hear that? Litter.
Yeah, and
if you see people littering, I know y'all don't litter,
right? But and people that just don't have their stuff tied down in their truck, secured and whatever. But it comes down and comes right past our house, and it's an opportunity for us is the way I look. I've lived there 10 years, and we just bought the next property. I have about close to 3 acres, and
great.
It's really sweet, man. Got a couple of goats and got a driveway going all the way back to the dock. My bass player from Slide Bayou, Mark Hendricks, built my. He's not even on Facebook, but he built the dock. We built our little dock down there together, and got a cool little thing kicking. Then we go kayaking, trying to take a couple groups a week and pick up trash with grabbers.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous. I'm gonna have to come hang out.
You should.
I'd love to do something like
cool.
that.
And eventually, it'll be where it's just maintaining it. Like yesterday we went out, or Thursday we went out and did it officially. I've done it for years, but we picked up like 4 huge bags of garbage.
Victory
from the the reeds in the side. They just get caught.
Yeah.
And
great work,
cool.
man.
So if anyone has kayaks or canoes that you don't use and you want to donate to a great cause, send me a message and we'll put them to great use. Cleaning up garbage in Dog River. Excellent.
That's great.
Excellent. Hey,
if I want to sign up to come over and do the thing, how do I find it? Do the whole thing.
Well, I'm about to make like I said, we just started it, but I'm going to make a Facebook page. It's going to be Slava Creek Eco Tours.
Slava Creek Eco Tours on Facebook as soon as you get it on there.
Yeah. So
to come.
But you can just message me, Ryan Balthrop. Just let me know if you want to come.
Awesome. That's awesome. I wanted to do something like that.
We have 6 kayaks now, so
cool.
It's been great, man. And we work with Dog River Clearwater Revival. They're been doing amazing stuff. They're the ones that raise money to put in the trash trap, and it's working good.
Where's the trash
Mobile
trap?
Baykeeper. Trash trap's right down 6 houses down from me on the river, right where it goes into Dog River, and from Slava Creek. And
I heard there was a bad dump into the bay somewhere.
Daphne's been pretty rough with their utilities, but I don't know anything about that. But
anyway, that's not close to you guys, though.
Well, it's on the other side of the bay. And we're way up the river, But
oh, that's right. Okay, sorry, my geometry sucks.
Like here's Mobile Bay. We're way up, and then you go Dog River, way up here. We're way up here. Daphne's over up here. Daphne's up here. You're down in.
You're like right.
You're down in like Fort Morgan or something.
Here, right? You're an ear whisperer.
Oh, you got a big bay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they're got a
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Truth, Love, and Peace, episode 37.
I'm so glad I turned on the auto compression for you, Ryan.
Oh, am I loud?
No, I don't know. I haven't even looked at it.
How long do these usually go? About 4 hours?
Usually.
Yeah.
Usually. Until we run out of all reasonable things to say to each other. We're not even close to there.
Well,
we're not even close to there. Are you still doing gigs with Slide Bayou? Are you still
we're doing we're doing Brickyard May 12th. That's our next. We don't have anything booked in April, but it's a benefit for leukemia lymphoma. A friend of ours, Brooke, is doing. She's up for leukemia lymphoma Woman of the Year.
Wow!
So May 12th, we're doing a fundraiser for her. Her sister is actually a cancer survivor, but so we're doing that Brickyard, early show, and then late have the full show at the Brickyard, May 12th. But nobody will remember that. That's from here, May 12th. Put it on your calendar.
Come see.
Put it on your calendar.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to double back to. Getting into the really deep stuff, though, I don't know what the information looks like 15 years from now. And we were talking about what life's like for your 4-year-old with screens. Neil deGrasse Tyson says that you don't want to judge an emergent technology because you never know what's going to become, like people who naysay the telephone.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if all this stuff that's going on with like Parkland, if this is the new generation finally stepping up to corporations and saying, or I wonder if they're going to make that transition. Like it's been the NRA was the corporation that they've kind of been, that has been revolved around that event and that topic. But whether or not that generation of voters will see the connection to the corporation and transfer that to things like the oil industry or, the petroleum industry and stuff like that. Do you ever wonder what the next 10 years is going to look like and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh, well,
that's going to change the game.
That's, they already... Well, see, I think they make the movies to get us ready for them, like iRobot.
That's all conditioning.
Oh, it's all conditioning. Yeah, totally, I think.
So all the Tom DeLonge UFO stuff lately? Are you a UFO guy?
Yeah, I am. And I believe... Well, it's like Brian, he used to work at the Harpoon. I think he still does. Brian,
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Anyway, we were talking about one time. He said that, and I think it's true. We were put here to harvest the minerals.
The Anunnaki. This is way back. The Anunnaki. Hang on, let me press this button.
You know all this stuff. I mean, harvesting another planet. Like we're just a seed pod.
Yeah.
In a million, infinite amount, and they just wait till the seed pod reaches the right time and a place where it can support life, you know. And then it goes there, and they start the pyramid, and they enslave the people from another planet, bring them down, and then have them build the pyramid, you know, to start to navigational devices, so that when they're all coming back and forth, that they'll know exactly where they're going. Yeah. And then from there, they just keeps going, and then they just let population continue until it's reached its climax, and then they harvest us again. You know, we're about, you know, and what they do is they introduce the technology, which is, you know, these, you know, and all the stuff that distracts us and keeps us connected, that before we didn't necessarily need, you know, we got along for thousands of years without it, but now we need it, you know, and now and then all they got to do is just turn it off, you know, and then it was like an ant hill stepped on.
I love that.
You know, and then we're like, what the hell's going on? My phone!
From the inside out.
Yeah, I mean, and then they harvest a lot of us to take for food, and then they, you know, take a lot of us and take us to another planet to start the next civilization. Some people get lucky. You know, well, they get to go see another planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Maybe.
And I'm thinking about a movie screenplay for it that, you know, where it starts like this, you know, and they're like reptilian creatures, just like, or the cat people, you know, whatever they were.
Yeah.
And, or what they are, whatever they are. And, you know, they're just shows, you know, slave, you know, building pyramids, pulling these stones, and but then again, you know, they have technology to make, you know, magnetic. I think it's all magnetic. I think that's what they're using. I think that's the way it's going to go. Is high-powered magnets for transportation. For, you know, and you'll have to have a system in place on the planet to project. You know, I don't know how it's going to do it. You have to talk to Neil about that or whoever. But I think that's probably where it's going, and they have that technology, but then they get us in place, and then we harvest all the minerals, we process the gold, the silver, anything that idiots could deem, you know, they could pass off as valuable, and then when they harvest us, they have all of it processed, and it just goes in their Fort Knox when they start the next
trip.
Yeah.
It's
Franchise.
a franchise. The Anunnaki franchise.
McEarth.
Fast planets. Fast food. I like the way you put all that together. I've heard all of those stories, but not quite.
Yeah.
Quite like that. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Think about it.
There's some good points in there.
And there are people that reach a certain level of, like Prince, who just said, and maybe Tom Petty, I believe, you know, I'm sure they was like, okay, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Can I go to see what else is out there? And they're like, okay, you know, and they ask for all your money that you've earned on the planet, and you give every bit, and probably, you know, royalties to them, and then they go, okay, you're through the door. Now you get to see what's really going on.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
Isn't that weird?
That would be horrible.
What?
The middlemen of the priests have actually done it. Like it's bad enough that throughout history priests have absconded with the better parts of religion and basically made people pay for their morality, or have offered them a way out of paying for their salvation. And so this would basically be the same thing, but on a reincarnation level. So if you to die and move on, you have to bequeath all of this earthly possession, which would be the antithesis of what an enlightened philosopher would be. Like the Buddhists would say that the idea would be to do the exact opposite, for example, like a minimalist philosophy.
To gain as little as possible here.
Right. As opposed to going the other way, like gain a lot so you can get out.
Well, that's the whole thing. Problem with heaven and hell is that people, you know, don't base their actions on their consequences here. You know,
Unfortunately, If only.
Right. And it'll happen.
Rather than...
I think it'll happen.
Well, if people just would take into consideration not just the life they're injuring now, but their eternal afterlife, then maybe it'd be a better world.
Yeah, exactly.
If only, right?
La 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 la, live for today. La 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 la, live for today.
Very true. Oh my goodness, what is this?
My cousin calling.
What is this? Is he gonna say, you can't say that on Facebook? Let's put him on the air.
Eric,
we're in the middle of a podcast.
I'm on Facebook Live right now. What you doing, cuz?
Yeah, join us on Facebook Live. We're right there. Actually,
I'm about to play Floribama, yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna look at these comments before we get out of here.
10 o'clock.
And say hey to Mike.
Bring it on, cuz. Eric Balthrop's gonna be there. Ha
Awesome.
Good times.
It looks like Mike's the only person that
I need
said
to go
hey.
Zach soon. Pretty.
You probably should. We've been at this for a while.
Been good.
Dude, this has been awesome. It looks like Mike's the only person that
I need
said
to go
hey.
Zach soon. Pretty.
Oh, that's because my
Hey!
page hadn't refreshed. Oh, there are the rest of the comments.
Yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Hey, hey, hey!
Oh, it's great. Oh. How about that for some original music?
Thanks, guys.
Kaboom.
Love you.
I think we should end it right there.
Yeah, I love all my fans.
Right there.
I love all your fans.
I love all your love. It's beautiful. I love, baby.
It's good to have fans, though. Love is good.
Mm-hmm.
Fans are better.
Because they'll love you.
Come on. You know how it is. We're all friends.
Fans love you, and it's a vicious cycle from there.
Exactly. It is.
Ladles and Jelly Spoons, episode 37, Truth, Love, and Peace. Ryan Balthrop, thank you so much for being here. This has been a pleasure. Until next time, pressing buttons, Alvita Sane, truth, love, and peace. Bye.